In this segment, we're going to go over building a cork handle with cork rings. This allows you to use different rings, a higher quality of cork, different colors. You got blue, red, burl, you name it, checkered, burnt. Your options are endless when you build a cork handle with the rings. And again, it allows you to shape that form and feel that you're looking for. Definitely takes a little more time and touch. I wouldn't recommend this in your first rod, but ultimately it adds another aspect of the sport. Having a composite cork ring as your butt cork ring is ultimately going to act as a butt cap and be a little more abrasion resistance and withstand a little more abuse better. So ultimately, we're just going to slide these rings down one by one until we have them at the right length we want. These are 1/2 inch cork rings. The accent rings I'm using are 1/4 inch. So I've already put together how many I need to get the desired length I want. The average rear grip is about 8 to 9 inches. So I've put together the cork rings I need for that. Then I'm going to slide my reel seat on. And then my cork for the foregrip. Put in a cork ring clamp. Clamp it down, let the epoxy cure, and we'll shape it up. Alright. In this instance, the composite cork ring was a little too big for my blank. If you can see, there's plenty of play in there. So what I'm going to do is take my masking tape and build my blank up a little bit. All right, you want a firm fit, but not too tight. When you place that ring on there, you don't want to push out all the epoxy. So we want some room there for the epoxy. Naturally, you wouldn't do this for every ring. We're just having to do this here for the composite ring because they weren't in stock per se in the right size. So that fits nice and snug, not too tight, not too loose. That one's good to go. By using a finishing cap, we can plug the hole in the blank, eliminate the gap altogether. Push that cap in there. Now we know what our first ring is going to look like. Now that we've got our cork ring sized up, we know how many we're going to use for our rear grip, how many we're going to use for our foregrip. We're going to go ahead and ream them out. The reamer I use is a KB speed reamer. We had these reamers specially made. We actually make them. I had the grit specially made. It's a silicon carbide grit. It's just the best grit to aggressively eat away cork and shape it without ripping it. And we put it on a cloth-backed tape so that you don't lose any grit, as some of the razor wands, etc. You ream a few cork handles out and the grit's all gone. All I'm going to do here is take the speed reamer, chuck it up in a drill, and slide these rings on one by one. And constantly, as I'm reaming them out, I'm going to slide them down the blank, make sure they fit nice and snug. Each ring needs to be reamed out individually due to the fact there's a taper on the blank. The rings at the bottom of your handle versus the rings at the top of your handle are going to have a much different diameter on the inside. And again, just like our composite ring we put on there first, we need each ring to fit nice and snug where it is actually going to sit on the blank. Just get them started like that, and then one by one, slide them down the blank, nice and snug. This one needs to go a little bit further, and we'll seat them all, just like that. Nice snug. We have our first ring in there. If they don't fit perfectly against each other, if you have gaps or divots between each ring, not a problem. You want to get them as close as you can. But after we epoxy every one of these together, put it in the press, let it cure, we're going to come back with sandpaper and smooth out all those ridges. What I'm going to do first is size up all the rings, ream them out accordingly, and then we'll slide them all on again and glue them on in place this time. Here's our first accent ring. Probably actually put this accent ring all the way at the bottom, so I have that nice accent between that composite and our first ring of natural cork. So we'll have that one. Now you can start to see the pattern that's going to take place. And if you get some cork shavings from your previous rings that keep your cork from seating tight against each other, just go ahead and pick that out. You want your cork to sit nice and tight, just like that. Now that we've got it started, we can go ahead and take a few cork rings at a time, being that just like our blank is tapered, our reamer is tapered. The reamer is actually a blank itself that we've wrapped our cloth back, silicon carbide around. So we know that this taper is roughly going to match the taper of our blank. I won't do more than a few rings at a time, but going one by one at this point, you still can, and if you want to be exact, absolutely. But we'll go a few at a time. And actually with these composite cork rings, your burl or dyed cork, they're a little bit tougher to get through anyway, just like you saw that one. So you may want to go ahead and do these one by one as well. All right, nice and snug. Probably make it just like that. When you're reaming it, obviously you're going to have the drill on as you go down, but you want it to be on as you pull off as well. Otherwise, it gets stuck on there. If you slow down with the drill, you can start to tear your cork. You want that grit moving fast so it's cutting really quick and efficiently. Nice and snug. Now our pattern is really starting to take shape. We can really start to get a feel for what it's going to look like. Pretty neat.